So my name is Mike McDermott. I'm from the United States. I'm 26 years old. I came here in January of 2013 to do Victory Gap Year. I've stayed here since and continued with the gap year helping out, and I'm studying for my bachelor's degree right now. I'm just about done. I finish in August 22nd. Over the last little while, I've just been really going through some tough circumstances, and it's really pushed me significantly closer to God. And I realized this for a while, but my entire life I've struggled with like severe rejection and fear of being alone, and I've never quite known why. I've prayed about it. I haven't really gotten anything. Then one day I listened to a series called Into the Wilderness by Graham Cooke, and after listening to the first session, I just started weeping, like crying and crying for like a half hour, 45 minutes. And I repented of having, the fear of being alone and this rejection, but I really wanted it gone. I'm like, God, where did this come in? And he brought me back to when I was a baby in the kitchen in the house that I used to live in. And I was in third person, so I wasn't in my body, but I felt everything as if I was. And I remember being in this bouncy chair on the kitchen counter, and I don't know if it was my dad or my mom, but they didn't strap me in properly, and then they walked away, and the immediate feeling that I felt was, no, don't go. And after a little while, I started bouncing on the kitchen counter, and then eventually I fell off, and I hit my head, but I think an angel caught me. But what was more significant was the intense rejection and the fear of that I'm alone that I felt. It was completely overwhelming, and I went to cry, and I heard the enemy tell me that there's no point in you crying because nobody loves you, nobody cares about you, and there's no point in you even crying out because nobody's gonna come, and you're gonna have to fend for yourself for the rest of your life. And then I just held my breath, and that was the end of the vision. And obviously I prayed through those things pretty much immediately afterwards. And then I asked God, why only now did you tell me these things? And he said, because until now, Mike, you didn't want to get rid of them. I phoned my mom afterwards, and I asked her, did this happen, And she couldn't remember immediately, but she messaged me back 15 minutes later. She said, actually, Mike, it was so traumatic for me that I actually blocked it out of my memory. She said that my dad was leaving for a night shift. He was a police officer, and he didn't strap me in properly. And my mom thought I was sleeping in the kitchen. Then she heard this loud thump. She came running in, and she saw me face first on the ground with my bouncing chair on top of me, and I was holding my breath. She said I was like blood red. And I asked her, Mom, how old was I? And she said 8 weeks old. So for my entire life, I had been living with this thing. So when I would wake up, I would normally feel this intense rejection, and I'd have to spend quite a while just to pray through that. I thought that was normal. That's how everybody woke up, that they felt alone, especially if they were physically alone. But after all of this happened, I realized that you don't wake up, you're not supposed to wake up alone. And God has just become so real to me, and he's just been so faithful and kind, just walking me through this process. And he's just been so loving. And I never really knew the love of God like I know now, just to feel accepted the way I do. And it really sets me free in just so many different types of environments. I don't have to feel like I'm being rejected or judged or whatever the case is, because it doesn't really matter anymore, because I know I'm accepted by Jesus. I'm just so thankful for God for setting me free and just making me feel just accepted in community and just loved in a family.